Iceman, Tiffany, Bridgestones, I done made plenty shit right at a too long shit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey.
All right, kind of jumping to another one. You guys liked the last live sales call, so
Let's go. Let's go. What did I miss? When I was
let's try to rip one more.
All
All right, update. Homeboy had to push back a few hours, so it's dark out now. But yeah, sorry about that, man. I know we're jumping out a little bit late, but he just tagged me in Slack, and he was like, yo, I'm still going over on this call. So for context, I actually manage a team, so I don't normally jump on these calls, but when needed, I can kind of step in. But since I'm kind of coming from left field, if you don't mind, bro, kind of give me like a bird's eye view. You know, we speak to a lot of different people every day, so I want to make sure, obviously, I'm focused on you and kind of what you're specifically looking for out of the program. Kind of give me like a catch up to speed in terms of like what you're specifically doing now, what you're kind of looking for out of the program, if you even know what you're here for, kind of the whole 9 yards.
No, understood. I mean, how I got into the AI Institute was through one of Sergio's AI days he had at the School of Hard Knocks.
Gotcha, okay.
Maybe to a background from where I'm coming from. Actually came from an athletic background, played American football for a long time, led me to play overseas. I'm from Germany originally.
Okay.
United States, played D1 football, studied business, got a chance to start my career in consulting. So I've been doing consulting for the past 5 years at a Big Four level.
Mm-hmm.
So opened up some doors for me to just get into the corporate world and obviously getting a lot of experience. Always knew that I wanted to start my own venture at some point. So it's just a timing aspect since I was still pursuing sports at a highly competitive level. I mean, now's the time, and it's very intrigued by the AI opportunity that's obviously there. Even at the Big Four level consulting, multi-billion-dollar firms, I mean, they're all trying to get on AI. So I felt like, man, might as well use all the knowledge that I'm getting through work to also implement for myself. And found the voice AI very interesting since, honestly, looking at it, it seems like a very easy model to just implement and get it going. So, got a ping from, I think, Haram. He just reached out and kind of introduced this one-on-one scheme from AI Institute to me. Honestly, no expectations as to what that entails, so I'll leave that to you to just explain. Obviously, I know probably tied to some cost. Invested into mentorship before. But honestly, this time around, just obviously less risk and other things. Not looking for high investments in mentorship as of right now, since it's just starting out after all. But I'm very, very interested though in what the benefits are, and maybe we'll find something to meet at the middle. So
yeah, dude, of
good
course.
to see.
What I always tell people too is like, I'm sorry about that. I was spraying some of this off spray because there's a bunch of fucking bugs out here. I'm out here in Tulum. I'm in Tulum, Mexico. I always finish the year out here because it's peaceful.
That's cool.
But I always tell people, I'm like, this call is, dude, like, we have a lot of different paths for different, kind of like depending on what you want. If you're like the full done for you, obviously that's a bigger investment versus some of more of like our accelerator programs. Like we can kind of walk through everything. There's never any pressure to make a decision, but I think most times people do end up making one if they feel like it helped them go faster. I guess for me to get some context is obviously you've made your way into the corporate world, have an idea on what you want to do with AI. I guess like, is it more so you want to get started with an AI business, or is it just in general like I just want to do my own thing now? Like what's kind of like even made you kind of jump into even kind of booking a call? Because most people like that I speak to, they're usually coming from either corporate, maybe they're retired, maybe they're working 9 to 5. They're just kind of like looking for a way to do their own thing and work for themselves. And then obviously AI is also just the biggest opportunity there is right now. So it kind of aligns. Yeah. But for you, like what specifically, I guess, made you want to like seriously look into something with like an AI business versus like a consulting business, which you're already doing?
I mean, pulling up a consulting business, I think entails a lot more than just, let's say, setting up an AI voice business. I think it's a good way to, enter, I'd say. It's a good door to get things going. I think scaling that up also brings in a lot of returning revenue that obviously will kind of create a good runway to create something bigger, I'd say. I mean, AI voice, we don't know how long that will be here until everybody catches up and be like, hey, we started AI voice or whatever. I mean, probably things on Fiverr or whatever that, are
Well,
for very cheap.
there is
But,
like software, like SaaS companies out there that sell it.
yeah,
What I always tell people is like it's how you position the offer, right? Like if you were just saying, hey, here's my AI voice to like any local business, yeah, like it's gonna be a race to the bottom in terms of price. Like, oh well, I saw this agent I can get for $47 a month. But like we kind of show guys more in terms of like how to actually be like position yourself more as like a growth partner to like integrate AI into their business. But then you also have like I know you see these ads. I get it too. Like you're in the school of hard knocks. I'm sure you see a bunch of ads from all these different gurus that are like, make money this way or make money that way, or you can make money with AI this way. But when I talk to a lot of guys who jump in accelerator, and excuse my voice, I know I kind of sound nasally. I'm running through a little bit of a cold. But the biggest thing I've noticed is a lot of them are kind of like, oh, you just, you find these businesses that are doing millions a year, you find their inefficiencies and you just load AI into their inefficiencies and you get rich, which is like cool. It sounds great out and looks good on paper, but like what's kind of tangible about that is like what I feel like a lot of people are kind of curious about. That's why we did more of like turnkey AI receptionist. Because like the first job that's actually getting replaced, like just based on even corporate data, like data all the way up to like Fortune 500 companies, the receptionist is getting replaced first. So it's kind of like a simple foot in the door offer where like businesses are like, okay, I'm already spending $2.5-4K a month on my current receptionist that's not doing like the best job in the world, even if I love her or if I love him. But like, so I get to cut those costs, but then I also have something that, I don't ever have to worry about speed to lead. I don't have to worry about following up with leads. I don't ever have to worry about like actually doing cold calls and going outbound to my list. Like there's a lot of things that the AI chatbot does that a regular person just, not that they can't do it, it's just most times they're too lazy to do it. And business owners know that. And business owners also don't like to manage employees. So it's like one less person they have to manage. So we try to kind of create more of like a very specific solution for a very specific business that can actually pay you real money for it. And all of that comes down to like who are you selling to and how are you positioning the offer. And I'll kind of walk through what I mean by that. But I like to just kind of get that out in front, because I think that's where I think a lot of people are kind of like, okay, well, like this AI voice, but how long is this going to be around? Obviously, there's much more you can do for businesses. Like you can stack up a lot more services. You can generate them more leads. You can do SEO. You can do lead generation and lead conversion. Like there's a lot of things you can do to make your offer higher ticket. That of course I'll kind of walk through with that as well. But sorry, I always like to kind of say that at the beginning just to kind of give context. But you were mentioning, obviously, like you want to do your own thing. So like, are you currently working for a company? Or are you doing some like more freelance consulting, if you will?
No, I'm still working at the big four level. Just moved out here to Atlanta. Got married this year, so I had to relocate from Germany back to the United States.
Oh, congratulations, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So a lot of life-changing moments. Hence, a lot of different changes. Have to obviously make good decisions based on that. Because, in every transition, always got to watch your finances and all of that going the right way. But wanted to just use the chance, obviously new city and everything, to just get started, get going. Again, if it's a lucrative opportunity, for sure, we'll look into it. If it's just, let's say, not willing to spend that much on it right now, maybe at a later point, but definitely been looking into different things and how to make that work. Obviously getting the excitement from my workspace, just looking at what we're doing for other companies and what we're trying to, get going for, like every corporate, office, in the sense of like building agents or trying to automate certain things, that ERPs or whatever.
Right.
Obviously doing that on your own, that's a whole different beast. But I'd say an AI voice receptionist, I think that's something really easy to just, kind of, in a way, recycle what you've been doing at work with the presentations and everything, and just do it on a smaller scale for smaller businesses that are, ready to pay. So in that sense, mainly the reason why I was like, hey, this I think will be the best fit for now, and I'd see that as the easiest, I guess I said, the entryway to get in. But man, I'm very stoked to just hear. But I heard a lot from Sergio on that AI day on the business model, kind of how it's running. I think the biggest room for improvement would be the sales side of it. Probably very creative in, finding ways, obviously, utilize the GPT and everything. But in a sense, obviously, there's some form of, skill around it. There's some form of, yeah, I'd say craft that
Yeah.
needs to be developed. So in that sense, I think that would be the greatest benefit. But I'm willing to hear what you have to say about the program in general, and just
Yeah, of course.
very excited to also learn about your path, because I know you probably, as a manager or as a someone who's leading a team in this AI institute, you probably have a lot of experience made with AI. Maybe your results, sharing what you've been doing, and maybe where you started and how much you've progressed and everything.
Yeah, dude, it's been I'll definitely give you I'm an open book, so I'll give you all the context you need. But yeah, I lead everything sales related for Joel and Sergio. If you don't really know their background, did he share like Agency Lab and what they did prior to kind of like positioning for AI Institute? On that, do you remember that? Yeah, so like I lead all things sales for them because I was actually one of their fastest like scaling clients at one time. But like one thing I'll tell you like from the go to is like with AI Institute, you don't really have to have like AI tech skills. Like what I always tell people is like it's not really so much about like the little tech stuff, because it's very easy to get caught up in the small things. That's why we do a lot of the tech part like for you. Like we have pre-built bots. We already do a lot of the prompting, all of like the technician side of things. So you can just focus on what truly matters, which is getting clients. And that really comes down to like the actual real skills around the business. So it's like obviously you have the right industry that you're going to sell to, because some businesses will pay you $5,000 a month for something like this. Some businesses won't even pay you $500. So like the value that's delivered is specific to the business. That's why I like working with higher end like dental clinics. I've worked with med spa clinics. I've even worked with real estate agents at one point, but I don't like to work with them as much. We worked with them at a good time when the market was good. Now, like I like higher end, like pretty much the biggest thing you want to look at is like how can I partner with local businesses that make big profits per like client, per patient, whatever it is. Because like one call that comes in that you can convert for them makes up for their money they're paying you. So if you can get them 5, 6, 7 clients that all like their average, not to get like too granular, but their average lifetime value per client, if that lifetime value is, give or take 10 to 30,000, like if you can get them a few of those clients, they're never going to stop renting this AI bot out for you. But it's always about the real skills. Like we'll kind of show you what's different about AI Accelerator than I think like maybe like a lot of different like AI programs is it's less about like, it's honestly funny enough, less about so much like being obsessed with AI and more about like how can I leverage AI, because it's the biggest buzzword and the fastest growing thing that's happening, and build a real business around it. So how do I know how to actually market and get leads for myself? How do I have a sales process to convert business? How do I have a good system to onboard clients? How do I have a good client delivery system to actually have an account manager, do the account management myself, and make sure my clients are getting good results and they're staying with me? Because that's the beauty of AI Receptionist is like, you don't necessarily have to be the best salesperson in the world, because like businesses are pretty happy to pay for it because the offer sells itself. Like if the offer is good enough where it is already, like they're kind of looking at it as like, okay, I get to cut costs, but also get more business out of it and have one less person to manage. And even the people that like love their AI receptionist, they don't necessarily want to fire the receptionist yet. It's like, well, either way, it's going to make their job more efficient. So it's not like you have to be Mr. Jordan Belfort to sell it. And we'll still give you all the sales processes, which I'll kind of like walk you through. But like for me, I came up in the marketing world. So like we were running paid ads. We're doing a lot of lead generation. At one point I was building call centers for local businesses. And that was hard to sell. And it wasn't hard to sell because our offer wasn't good. It was hard to sell because they've been sold that 1,000 fucking times. Like they saw so many ads about, hey, Mr. Business Owner, I'll generate you leads. And you only have to pay per X, whatever the case is. Whatever offer was spun up, they had seen so many of those ads and so many of those offers that it was hard to sell because they'd just been burned before. With AI, it's something new. It's something different. Local businesses always want new. They always want different. That's what they buy. So it's about positioning it that way, and we'll help you. Like one of the big pieces with Accelerator, and you'll be surprised, we can get pretty creative with different, like in terms of investments. If you're kind of like, I don't want to make a massive $20,000 investment tonight, but like, it's more so about giving you kind of like, there's a lot of guesswork that I think comes down where it's like you get analysis paralysis. Like, okay, I've been in this program. It's a lot of information to consume, but where do I start? So like, it's more about kind of taking away that guesswork and giving you a real path to follow where it's like, do this step by step by step with the support that we give you. And it's very unreasonable not to see good results. So Sergio and Joel, they've helped over 500 students to over 10K a month. They've helped over 140 students to over 100K a month and growing. I was fortunate enough to be in that group. So like the reason I kind of lead a lot of our sales stuff is I closed at one point. I was like one of the closers for an offer that did 250K a month And then we took one from 0 to 100K in 30 days, which was their fastest growing client. And that's when they were like, oh, we want you to come build out systems for us. So like for me, I'm a big sales guy. And what that means is I'm not going to sit here and give you all the hardcore sales objection handling and all that stuff. I believe sales is conversations. It's about like, okay, what do you actually want out of a program? What's your criteria that you're looking for? Why do you actually want to get there? Like, what's even the real truth of what you want to do with this? And then do we actually have the deliverables to back that? And it's okay if it's a no. So like that's kind of what this conversation really is for. Is obviously I'll break down all the different things that we can do, from done for you to accelerator, all the things that we can get creative with you. But it's really mainly just trying to understand, like, what do you, Daniel, want? Like, do you want to just kind of overcome your current income? Are you trying to make enough money to be able to quit what you're currently doing and go all in on this? What's kind of like the short-term goal versus long-term goal? Like, what's kind of the specific reason why you want to even start an AI business? And then, like, obviously it always comes down to money. Like, is it like you want to make more money? Is it you want more time back? Like, what's kind of, I guess, just to shoot straight, like, what specifically are you even looking out of this program for?
I think the main thing is to create value, of course. I mean, I define success as impacting the world, the investment of your character. So impact is what I'm really looking for. But secondly, obviously the monetary aspect of it is very important. Yes, I'm fortunate enough to be in consulting or anything like that, but working for someone else is not, the way out. So I do understand that being ambitious to have your own venture also means having a way out. A way out to build your own income that is limitless, that you can, control, that can go beyond obviously your salary, but, much further, whatever you, able to earn in a year, maybe earn that in a month, as you said. But, from there, it's just building also a brand that is sustainable. I mean, yes, I bet there's a lot of, AI agencies or people who start AI where it's like, they do sell, but is it sustainable? Is it like turning into a brand, for example? I mean, we've seen e-commerce where it's like in the beginning, it's just a regular store, but at some point we realize, man, the ones that are sustainable are the ones that build brand around it,
Yeah. What I always tell people too, dude, is I think a lot of people try to sell so hard their thing. I'm very open about the fact that you can go be successful in any business. You can probably go be successful with e-com. You could probably go do it with, the big thing I think is like being able to actually commit to something long term. Like, of course, we've had guys get really fast results, like, but I'll never use I don't like to use my example as the best example because I've also, I'd already been doing this for some time and failed a few times. So, when we did that big, fast launch, dude, we already had all the sales processes. We already knew how to run ads. We knew how to get leads. We knew how to write an offer. We knew how to create funnels. We had a lot of these skill sets. Like, I always tell people, don't expect to come in and just do $100,000 in 30 days. That'd be bad if I set that expectation. But, to go get a few clients to pay you $2-3K a month, that's not super difficult if you follow the right process. And that's kind of what they built out. Because obviously, dude, of course our goal is to help you make as much as you want to make. You know what I mean? Like, for you specifically, you obviously mentioned, okay, I have a decent salary, but it's capped. So does it kind of feel like, okay, it's going to take me years to be able to increase that cap? What's kind of, it kind of helps me to start financially because then we can kind of backtrack. But, where do you actually want to be financially with this business? Give it 60 to 90 days. If actually that we could help you get there.
60 to 90 days, honestly, I think 10K is very, very viable. I mean, that's very feasible, I'd say. But, I mean, that's not where it's supposed to end. I mean, the goal would be as soon as I figured it out, obviously scale that to 20, 30, where you get to a point where, okay, now you get to a point where you have to actually implement new strategies to make it grow. I mean, capping that kind of beginning stage out and making sure that it's continuous, it's sustainable. I mean, it ties into one of my questions where it's like, okay, I think you hit on it quickly at the beginning. It's, obviously not every business will, subscribe to this AI receptionist for a lifetime, but what's the rate you've been seeing? And obviously there is some other factors that tune into the success of having sustainable clients in this business, but what's kind of the usual lifetime of a client, I'd say.
I would say with this, it's actually longer than a lot of marketing service companies. And when I say marketing, I mean if you're running ads or if you're doing SEO or web development, just because with a lot of those type of offers, there's two expenses. You have the expense to the business to actually run the ads and do the work, plus ad spend or whatever the case is. With this, it's more simple. And what I've actually found with a lot of these businesses is the guys that have super complex offers and complex messaging, they always get stuck around that 30 to 50K a month because it's hard to scale something that's very complex. This is very simple. So like we even had a student, his name, he was running a paid ads offer, doing like roughly 6 figures a month, probably give or take, like maybe some months 80, some months 90, some months 110, in that range. He literally like stripped it to just focus on AI receptionist, like a very simple offer that wasn't a lot of like client delivery. Because one thing you want to think about is like, usually when it's super easy to sell, it's a little bit harder to fulfill. And if it's super hard to sell, it's usually easier to fulfill. So like right now, it's kind of like, it almost sounds too good to be true because we're in this pocket where AI is so new. Business owners are just like you. Like they're seeing ads everywhere about AI. They're seeing the news, how AI is like cutting corporate companies' costs by 30%. They're seeing all the same shit as us, but they're just not as aware. Like they're like, I don't know where to start with this.
Absolutely.
So like we're in this kind of weird timing. I don't even say this to give you like fake urgency sales bullshit, but we are in kind of like this weird timing where like it's kind of now. Like AI is right now is where people are really starting to kind of learn about it. And it's like whoever can kind of be like the Uber, if you will, between like AI and like how to actually scale or how to actually be more efficient as a business owner. If you can kind of attach a business owner that knows that they got to do something with it and give them a feasible resource like a receptionist, you're going to make money from it because like it's not overly expensive for them because they're already spending the money on a receptionist that's not doing the job. So like it doesn't really feel like they're losing in a way. And then on top of that, like for the client delivery, it's much easier. So Ashton, he does like $200,000 a month now, but like he works way less hours than he used to, because like you don't need to have a team of 30 people when you're running a business with AI. Like it's a setup process that we help you through, and then like the AI is kind of something that just it's already integrated with everything. When a new lead comes in, it knows to call it. When you upload a CVC file of leads to call, it starts dialing the leads. You know what I mean? Like it just does action. It's not like. That's the hard part with managing people is like, okay, you can give them an action, you can give them an SOP, you can give them everything they possibly need, but if they don't do it, if they don't wake up and out of bed and actually do something with their life, like there's nothing you can do. So like, it is kind of like this weird timing right now where I think a lot of our clients are getting fast results because of just the timing of the market. Like give it a year, it will be harder. It's the same thing as like, you know, like, I mean, ecom, for example, ecom 10 years ago was easy. Like if we would have all gotten to ecom 10 years ago, we would all be rich. But it's like timing is everything with the markets. I think that's a big reason why Sergio took some time to build something real, like build a real delivery, like a real thing that you can deliver with, versus just like, hey, use AI to write your emails. You know what I mean? So I think like I think the key why people trust them a little bit more than like some of these other guys. I've heard a lot of clients of ours have said like other people just look a little bit too polished in a way, where like even the testimonials look AI in a way. So, I mean, let me ask you this, like what specifically did you actually invest into that didn't really work? Because you mentioned you've invested into mentorship before. Or did it work and you just don't do it anymore?
Well, that was e-commerce, actually. It was with Samuel Noah. Did invest. And honestly, it's just, I wouldn't say it's necessarily because of the program or anything like that. I'd say it's just timing as well. Obviously, it got a lot more competitive, but at the same time, you know, looking at the transition from this year, getting married, relocating and everything. Obviously, with the transition also in my career and everything, just it was a lot to handle, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But I think, as you said earlier, I think the main factor for me why AI is more of the timing aspect. I mean, agents started popping around maybe last year, maybe 2024. Even in consulting, I mean, we just started becoming a conversation, I'd say, early this summer. And we're still, you know, even now selling those, you know, projects to clients. So even in the corporate world, it's pretty fresh, pretty new. And it's about who gets on it early and kind of, you know, builds their reputation about implementing the best AI solutions. So with that, I was like, hey, that has to be exploited some way, somehow, personally. So again, that's the main driver behind it.
And then like with consulting, like do you have a few hours a week, a few hours a day to commit to something, like to actually build it?
Yeah, it's very time intensive, but honestly, I've been a student athlete before, so kind of know the lifestyle of, you know, being
doing the after hours. Yeah.
But it's just something. I mean, after all, what else are you gonna do? That's how I think about it. So
Yeah. I always tell guys who are coming from corporate, it's like, I mean, you can build a business with every time you have. Like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, you have to have like this specific amount of hours, whatever the case is. But it's like, you look at guys who are like ultra successful, they usually have less time than the broke people, but they still get more done. So it's kind of just like, where do you want to put your time? Now, like, part of what we do too is like building out a custom plan is actually focusing on, okay, when can you actually do XYZ outreach or whatever the case is to start getting clients, so we can actually build a plan for that. Because obviously, like, doing manual cold calls is not the best way to get clients. But building a system, you know, via, obviously, if you can afford it, I'm a big paid ads guy. Like, I'm gonna run ads all day long. Like, I'm an ads guy to the T, because ads, if you have the budget for it, like, you pay XYZ for a client. If you know what your cost to acquire a client is, and you know what your lifetime value is, I'm gonna say some kind of like crazy stuff, but like the main metric you want to look is like CAC to gross LTV. What that means is cost to acquire a client to what's your gross margin of lifetime value, meaning how much do you profit from each client over time, and how much does it cost you to get a client. Now, to make that simpler, what's that?
So starting up, say the clients that you've had so far that were starting out, what would be the best rate that they had in CAC compared to the lifetime value? Realistically,
it comes a lot down to your sales process. So like, I've always had a very, very healthy CAC to LTV because I've been able to have a really good close rate and a very good cash collect. But I've also been in sales for a long time. So like, I mean, anybody, if you can get I would even say 2.5 to 3x on your money is good, because like, you're a profitable business. Even at scale, even if you're at like a 1.5x, you're still gonna be profitable over time. I've always shot for like a 5 to 8, which is a big jump. But like, the way I look at it is, if I can put $2,000 into ads and get a 10K client, or close 2 people for 5K, now I can really scale my ad spend. That's actually how we did the 100K month. Is like, we started spending like $500 a day on ads, and then like $1,000 a day on ads. I think by the end of the month we spent like almost 30 grand on ads, but we collected 100. I think it was like 111. Not bad.
That makes sense.
So like, we spent a lot of money to get enough leads to have enough shots on board, but we also closed at like 45-50%. So like, we were able to be very profitable very quickly. But what I would say too is like, you don't have to start ads. So I like to get ahead of myself and start talking about ads, because you seem like a high level guy that I can talk higher level with. But dude, trust me, I talk to a lot of guys that are like, they have no fucking clue where to start. You can get a lot of clients. Like, there's only 4 ways to get leads in any business. You can reach out to people you don't know. You can go cold, right? Reaching out to people that you don't know is a lot of different things. You can do cold email, you can do LinkedIn DM outreach, you can do voicemail drops, SMS drops, cold calls, knocking on fucking doors, going to events. You can do warm outreach, which is reaching out to people you do know, which usually is a small list of people. And a lot of times when you're starting a business, you don't always want to sell to like your warm local people, because you're kind of testing things out. And I can understand that. The third thing is running paid ads, so spending money on Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, wherever you want to advertise your business. And then the fourth thing is making content. Excuse me. Those are the only 4 ways to get leads, right? Now, the most cost-effective way is obviously cold, which means doing cold email, doing cold SMS, voicemail drops, which are a really good way to get clients right now, because it kind of turns an outbound lead into an inbound lead. And what I mean by that is, like, if you have someone hears a voicemail drop where it's like, hey, try to give you a call, you didn't answer the phone, I actually created a solution specifically for this, give me a ring back if you're interested. It's kind of like, now they're calling you back like, well, wait a minute, I missed your call. And it's like, yeah, dude, I'll make sure you never miss a call. So it kind of turns it into like a problem solution that way. So we've got a lot of clients that will get to their first 5-10K a month with just voicemail drops. That's usually the fastest way. Like, you can go get to your first 10K a month, like you mentioned, 10K a month, without having to go start spending a bunch of money on ads. What I always tell people is, like, your first 10, 15, even you could get to 20K with cold outbound and then start running paid ads. Or at least, like, get some cash flow, because like, you want to have cash flow, because that's your oxygen for your business. If you're not getting any cash flow, then like, you're just drowning. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I'll talk about like ways why like a lot of our program in the beginning is about acquisition for you, is because like, we want you to make your return very quickly and also get cash flow to start making better business decisions. Because if you can make decisions based out of like abundance and not scarcity, where you're not so worried about bills, you're not so worried about money, and your actual cash flow is allowing you to breathe, then you're going to start making more decisions to actually scale. You know what I mean? And I'll walk through kind of all those different processes. I guess for you, how long you've been in AI Institute for a minute? 'Cause I think you did that video like a couple months back, right? With
That was in August. That was in August.
yeah, so you've been in it for a while. I mean, have
Yeah.
you been able to go through anything, or like what's kind of like in terms of like okay, picking a niche or picking a business, doing outreach, sales? Like, I guess what are the main things? Like, what progress have you made, and then like what are like the main things that you kind of need help with?
To be very honest, really just getting started, just because of all the things I had to take care of. But obviously, have drafted what I would kind of put together as a structure. Been focused on more healthcare based, like dental offices,
Yeah.
and that niche. Also been thinking about markets beyond the United States. Actually, was a question on maybe if that has been applied in the AI Institute and how that worked out, because I'm originally from Germany. I know how it is going to the doctor in Germany. I mean, nobody likes the front desk. Probably the the doctors don't like their own front desk either. Definitely a tax benefit, I would see as well, with not having to pay taxes for your employees in Germany and everything. So with all of that, definitely looking into various options. But yeah, so far, just been gathering more information to just get started, which is why this call, I wanted to get into further to see if it's viable, if it's lucrative to actually get into the one-on-one or not.
No, I mean, would you say, or would it be fair to say you kind of feel like you need a little bit more of like a push, like a little bit more accountability to actually start like doing the outreach and kind of getting your first few
I don't
clients?
think it would be accountability. It's more so right now, the main thing is really time.
Mhm.
But again, that one is in my own hands, the structure. But
Yeah.
beyond that, I just wanted to see the opportunity that comes with, let's say, the course that you were talking about. But again, if that's not, I'd say, the best fit right now, I'll just get started on my own until maybe at a later point it might make more sense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll kind of walk you through everything. I mean, when you mentioned later point, though, like, what would make it make sense? Like, what's kind of your criteria for being like, okay, this is actually real?
I get to a point where I'm able to create cash flow and then maybe scale it to 20, 30, maybe even 50K, and maybe you get stuck at a new system. You need somewhat way, a better strategy to implement. I think that would be a good point to obviously look for some more mentorship to get that going as well.
So you mean like after you get to 20, 30, 40, 50K a month on your own, then get mentorship?
Yeah.
Have you ever made 40, 50K a month?
Not yet.
Right. So like, would it be easier to do it on your own or like get support from guys that have done it before?
Obviously get support who's done it before, but again, I think the main benefit from a course is that you have all information at one place, at one spot, I'd say. The other way or the other route is, biggest disadvantage is you have to just look for that information yourself. But I'd say just coming from this background with the consulting experience, I think there's a lot of overlay with, obviously having those conversations with clients, presentations, and obviously being able to sell the solution, I'd say. Yeah. So I leverage that, just being able to do that with global clients as well.
And then from there, like,
again, it's not to say that I can just do it myself, but in a sense, test the waters, see what you can do, and then see if it makes sense to get mentorship for it or not.
No, I get it, and I'm not trying to like put you in a corner. That's not what I'm trying to do. But at the same time, it's also my job to like point you in the right direction. So it's like I've been in your shoes too before. Like before I've ever I remember the first mentorship thing I signed up for. It was way too expensive. I couldn't afford it. With that being said, like I'm happy I did it because information is all over. Like even the Institute program, like it's like $9. So like most of our students in Accelerator come in with 0 clients because that's kind of the point of Accelerator. Because otherwise, like they have this big vision. They're I'll do 40, 50K a month and then I'll get the help. That's kind of like saying like you're obviously a fit guy. That's like you being overweight and fat and being like, all right, I'm gonna go get in shape and get jacked, and then I'm gonna pay a personal trainer to get me even leaner. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's kind of backwards. Yeah. So like the main things is like you obviously have some skill sets you're bringing to the table, right? You understand business at some point because you're actually doing consulting right now. But it's like, okay, even if you can get a client, do you then know how to actually set up the tech? Do you then know how to build a system to onboard them? Then do you then know who to hire? There's always going to be new problems no matter what scale you're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, And of course, we're always going to talk about the results that Joel and Sergio have been able to create. With that being said, though, like they have playbooks wherever you're at, right? Like they've helped more people go from 0 to 10K a month, and they've helped people go from 0 to 100K. Obviously, with that being said, most of those guys at 100K didn't come in when they were already at 50. Like most of those guys at 100, 150K like started at 0, because each new level you're going to have a different bottleneck. I like the saying new level, new devil. There's always a new devil you're going to face. In the beginning, it's all about acquisition and how do I actually get started? How do I actually like put one foot in front of the other? Because like you mentioned, you've been in it since August. So it's like, okay, so since August, the one thing we've kind of been able to get done is like, okay, now I kind of know who I want to work with. But even that doesn't seem like it's super concrete. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Even just to, as I said before, that's putting it aside and making sure, hey, just taking care of a few things career-wise and everything until I make the decision, hey, let's get started now, which, again, this is kind of like the introduction for me with this call to be like, hey, let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, dude, 100%. I mean, every single person that I jump on these calls with, and I don't even take these calls all the time because usually like, you know, Chris or somebody else will take them who you originally booked in with.
Yeah.
But I tell this to my guys too. I'm like, most people you jump on with aren't even going to really have a full idea on the opportunity. They're going to be like, okay, what's this AI thing? But like, how do I make money with it? Like, we understand that it's a big decision. This is usually the hard part to jump over. With that being said, it's obviously, I'm going to walk you through all the different things we can do to actually help you get started. The reason we ask so many questions, Daniel, is like, dude, you jump on the call, like obviously we want to know what you want, what you actually want out of the program. I'm not going to try to sell you something you don't want, but it does sound like you're like, dude, I want to have my own business. You mentioned 40 to 50K, but let's get to 10K first. Not to shut you down, and I'm not saying you can't go to 40, 50K, but it's also not my job to promise you the moon and the stars just to get you to sign the dotted line. So what I'll do is I'll kind of break down like all the specific things that happens from the time that you jump in the program, what's different from Institute, because Institute's really just the information. I wouldn't even look at Accelerator as another course. It's not. Like, even the course materials are very similar. We have some added stuff in Accelerator. We didn't build Accelerator for more information. Accelerator was created because a lot of people in Institute were like, I have all this information, but I don't really know where to start. Or like, I have so much analysis paralysis, I want more one-on-one support. So it's more about actually implementing it and having a game plan. It's less about more information. Dude, you could probably find out more about AI receptionists via ChatGPT if you really wanted to. But then you're in the classic, then you're in the classic revolving door of just like learning, and never earning. So like that's kind of the big difference is I think Institute is more for learning it. Accelerator is more for like, okay, how do I actually earn money with it? That's kind of the key difference. But dude, I appreciate you being super open. You've obviously made it clear, like, look, dude, I'm open to it, but like I'm not super there yet. So I don't want to make you feel pushed or anything like that at all in this call. But again, I'll kind of walk through everything. I mean, you obviously have a lot of experience in the business world that you could bring to this. I think the big pieces are like obviously knowing, okay, number one, who am I actually selling this to? Because again, it's a very big decision in terms of like some businesses will pay you a lot more money for something simple as an AI receptionist or anything else you can package up. You don't want to go to AI, to a hairstylist and offer AI receptionist and they can't even afford it. Like, there's obviously specific things. Yeah. Number two, like knowing what you're actually selling, having the tech, but also having a good process, having an actual game plan to go from 0 to 10. Because I'm telling you right now, 0 to 10K a month is usually harder than even 10 to 100K. Like 10 to 100K is just being able to say no to a lot of red dresses and doing the same things that got you to 0 to 10K at 100x the volume. That's it. That's the real shit a lot of people won't tell you. They'll try to sell you some crazy new system to go to X, Y. Dude, if you can get to 0 to 10K, our process from 10 to 100K is change nothing about what you're currently doing. Just do 10x the volume and say no to all the red dresses. That's why we've been able to get so many guys past 100K a month. It's very simple. It's about a simple business, doing simple things for a long period of time, and being able to face boredom on a daily basis for as long as you possibly can to just get the result you want. So like with Accelerator, those are the three main challenges. Is number one, again, who am I selling to? Number two, what am I selling? Number three, do you have the right tech to actually deliver what you're selling? So none of our students really come in with like AI tech background. I would say majority of the guys I speak to are working like a 9 to 5. They might be retired. Like literally, I've talked to so many guys who are just retired. They're like, I'm bored. I want to get into this AI thing. Or they're working a corporate job.
Just
very similar to, like, I would say those are like the three puddles of people. Funny enough, it's not as many young guys as you think. A lot of it is a little bit more older guys. I think it's because you guys are just more aware. Not calling you old, but you're not like a 17-year-old kid. Or just more aware of like the actual opportunity with AI. But like I mentioned, bro, it's a lot less about the crazy AI, tech, skills, all that stuff. It's more about like the actual skills you need to run a business. How to get leads, how to sell, how to deliver a proven product. Does that make sense? But dude, I guess before we jump into everyone's favorite part, and obviously kind of jump into different options, like shoot straight, like how are you feeling about everything? Are you kind of like, I'm not really, they make it easy, like on a scale of 1 to 10, if one's like, Clay, I feel like this is too much information, I'm not really sure where to go from here, and 10 is like, this actually does kind of sound like something I was looking for, like where would you say you're on that scale?
I'd say it's a strong 7. After all, I mean, it's about getting started and hitting those first milestones anyway.
Yeah.
As I said, I mean, I've looked into other courses before, also even AI courses.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, like we're still coming from each and every, angle. It's just, I mean, just comparing the different offers. Really liked what I've seen in the regular course so far. I think it's good, sufficient information to get started. Obviously, there's some more information that would be of benefit from the accelerator course. But again, it's just, hearing out on what the full package is sounds very interesting. Also, obviously, what that means in expenditure and also compare to others and just get started. I mean, this is, log 1, I'd say.
I'll take it. Like a 7's a C. I was hoping for maybe like a B minus. I guess like just for feedback on my side, like why 7 versus like a 3 or a 4? Like what specifically makes it a 7 versus like a 3?
I mean, what makes it 7 is you broke down the different levels of the course. I think having a one-on-one coaching is sufficient. At least you get, as I said, a daily call and a bi-weekly one-on-one, which a lot of, let's say, not starter courses, but they won't offer that. They will just give you the information and be like, do it on your own.
Yeah.
It's lifetime access, which I think it's very viable. I've seen other courses, I mean, that also tax in the sense of, okay, what was it? Maybe I think it was $30 a month, but obviously it's on your subscription, having a one-on-one coaching. But again, just looking at the benefits, it is very tech focused, but at the same time, they do help in the sense of giving you a blueprint of how they did it. This is the blueprint. This is strategies I've implemented at this stage. I'm just comparing. I'm just looking at what would be the best decision for now. And then, maybe now, maybe at a later point. It's just not sold yet. It's just making up my mind about it.
Well, let me ask you this, man, because like, it seems like after this call you've gotten a little bit closer, but like you're still obviously kind of have those concerns. Like what's kind of like, obviously we'll jump into numbers because that's going to have something to do with it, of course. But like if you actually just genuinely took numbers out of it and looked at all the different things that you've kind of seen, like I guess what's kind of keeping it from a 10? Like what are kind of the things that you feel like are missing?
I mean,
I gotta put my computer on the charge real fast.
No worries. I mean, a 10 would be something like the done for you, but I'm just making sure, like what I'm describing as 7 is the accelerated course, because that's what I'm looking at right now. Done for you is basically having everything, having the one-on-one more frequently and everything.
Well, actually, no, the done for you is like, I wouldn't say it's more frequently one-on-one. Like either way, you get pretty frequent one-on-ones. The done for you is just going to be, you get the foundations built for you. What I will tell you is like, this is because, I mean, to shoot straight, bro, I can get pretty creative too. Like if you don't want the full done for you.
Also looking at the information I already have with the starter.
Yeah. Which you've been in the information with the starter since August. So like.
Yeah. I, to be honest, really pushed that back until like this week. So again, with the starter, it's kind of like as I just started. So
yeah. But you're in consulting, right? So like you probably told people, they probably told you the same thing. You're like, okay, well if you push it back this long, you're probably going to push it back another 3 months.
Well, I know myself. I know what I've done before. So in the sense, I do get why I have been pushing it. But at the same time, I know what I will also do in the future. Like I get your point. Like majority will keep pushing it. but it's just I
Like,
do
why?
know the reason.
But like when you said like you know why you're pushing it, like why?
I mean, looking at career change and transition that I had to go through these recent months, it's just a lot, you know. Um, Different things regards to just changes, new environment,
Yeah.
family now, work hours. I mean, consulting is pretty heavy, and just making a transition from Germany to the United States back, definitely different work culture as well.
Yeah.
And it's mainly a lot of things that were going on, but I mean, I've gotten acclimated now. I pushed it back for a reason. So
No, those are
again,
all valid reasons too. I was just asking because like most people will always like, and I say like, can I say something without like you getting upset with me?
no, absolutely.
So
I
like,
know a character thing that we're talking about now. So.
yeah, like it's not you know it's not that I don't believe you. It's just like there's gonna be something that comes up in the future too. You know, like there's never like I think like the whole like I'm waiting for the right time. Like it's never gonna be the right time for anything, whether it's with us or somebody else or e-com or fucking drop shipping, whatever opportunity it is. Like there's always gonna be something that comes up or something that's out of your control. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm like, a lot of times, obviously, if we can make numbers work, if things are checking your boxes, because I know you mentioned like the 10 is a done for you, but it's also like, dude, we can create a 10, depending on what you need for the done for you, depending on what you might not need. But also the accelerator is, you're still getting a lot of those boosts, and we can get pretty creative on the number side as well. But I just like to have that conversation up front. Obviously, I'm not going to beat around the bush. We can kind of jump into numbers. But I guess, like, do you feel, just before we kind of jump into it, because I would have to get kind of creative, is there certain things from the done for you that you're like, man, if I had that, it would make it a 10?
I'd say, as you said, the most valuable thing is the sales aspect of it. I mean, it's a skill to learn, it's a skill to train. Having that system, I think, would make it more valuable. After all, I think, but yeah, I just need some more time to think about it.
Well, you mentioned two things. You mentioned, like, you're comparing it to other things, and then also time. So, like, I guess to give me...
Again, starting on your own first, and then seeing if that works out.
So for clarity on my side, it's more so like looking at it for on your own versus with us, not other courses.
It's other courses versus obviously AI Institute, that's an accelerated course since I already have the starter course. Or starting on your own with the starter course versus obviously going with the accelerator.
Yeah. We'll break it down. Like when you look at all three options, what are your pros and cons? Like, is there certain things about other courses that we're missing? Yeah, correct. But like you also said earlier, it was like, I'm not trying to battle you, just having a genuine conversation. It's like, what's easier? Going to 40K a month if you've never done it before, or like getting the support from guys that have done it over 600 times?
Yeah, but again, as I said, it's in milestones. First milestone, let's say 10K. What would that take? Maybe 2, 5, 4 clients that you have to get on board. It's going to be a high learning curve, but I mean, you'll never find out if you've never tried yourself. And it's not me saying I'd rather bet on myself, although I'm very confident after all.
Well, I also think
everybody has to be. But
well, also bear in mind, it's not like you're not believing in yourself by getting help. Like I think there's like this belief that a lot of people have, like, oh, if I invest into like an accelerator program, it's like I don't believe in myself. It's actually like the complete opposite. Like if you are investing in an accelerator program to go faster, like that's the definition of believing in yourself, because you're actually putting your money where your mouth is.
I do agree. It's not going against it. That's not what I was trying to say. But after all, taking a decision to start that journey on my own is likewise. I'd say both don't necessarily, to say you don't believe in yourself. It's rather, hey, you're choosing your poison. You're going with what you feel like is the right choice at the moment. And again, at a later point, after going through some challenges, you might see, hey, maybe the support is a good option. Maybe you go and figure it out very quickly with the skills that you've acquired so far and actually develop those and get to the first milestone, get to 10K. I mean, these are all options I haven't explored since I haven't done it yet. So
yeah,
just it's not like I started in August and I haven't seen one client yet. So I'm kind of frustrated right now. It's more so having get started. I'm willing to get started now, and I wanted to see, hey, does this course give me what I need, and does it fit into, my current decision making? Do I want to spend 5,800 on going to accelerator course right now, or is it more so an option? Like I can, but I don't have to necessarily. And maybe by spring, I'll be like, hey, let me get into this accelerator course.
Well, let me ask you this: is it like, just for clarity, is it more about like the cost of it, or is it more about you just don't really see the value of it?
No, I do see the value. I mean, there is value behind it. If there was no value, then people wouldn't get into the course.
Yeah. No, but like for you, obviously, like value depends on the person. No, like some people might look at this and be like, I like some people look at this and say, I wouldn't pay. Kind of like how I said about earlier, like some businesses won't pay 5,000 for this, and some businesses will pay 500, or vice versa. You know that? Like there's also certain people that are very like, they just think everything that they see online is fake, and they would never invest in anything like this. And there's also other people that are like, I would buy this for 50,000. Like there's value does depend on the person. You know what I mean? So like,
individual, it is personal.
Excuse me.
Again, for myself, I don't know what extra information I would get from the accelerator course, since you just mentioned 15 more modules, which I'm not aware of which ones those are really. But I'm not saying this is the main factor. It's just a thing of, hey, I know there's more information. Well, don't get me wrong. It's just,
I actually think like, unfortunately, I think I even miscommunicated it in a way, because like I think you are someone that does like the information and does like it. Like what I think maybe what I wish I would have communicated better with it is, it's not so much like you need the support. That's not what it's about. It's not saying like, dude, you can't do it on your own. It's more like, we bring sports into it. It's more just like, you now have a fucking playbook. It's kind of like, Tom Brady, I'm sure that motherfucker would have won a few rings without Belichick. But like having Belichick call the plays and show him what to like actually give you like those guidelines to go like, okay, you do have someone that has all the mindset, the skill sets, the ambition to go and do it on your own. But like, how much sharper can you be if you are playing within a playbook that has made so many other students so much money? Where it's like, now you put yourself in that same playbook. That's kind of where I wish I would have communicated a bit better. Is like, it's not so much that we don't think, or I don't think you can't do it on your own. That's not what I've been trying to communicate at all. I'm sure you can. It's more just like the amount of time that it might take, like how much quicker could you have gotten there if you had the right playbook to direct all that energy. And then if it does just come down to money, it's like, dude, we can work around that. Like we have financing options, we can do split payments, we can do in-house split payments, like we can work with the money. But that's obviously only comes into play if you're committed to it. But that's one thing I wish I would have communicated better to you, is like, it's not that I don't think you can do it on your own. It's more just like, dude, you have the ambition, you have the energy to it, you want to go do it. It's like, imagine if you just had the guidelines and the playbook to direct all that energy towards things that already are proven to work, versus trying to do it. Because no matter what, like you could do it on yourself for sure, but like of course you're gonna do something wrong, like we all do. Where like it's tough because like with Accelerator, you won't waste any time because you'll have that playbook that is designed to help you get to those goals. Now that doesn't mean you can't do it on your own. Again, that's one thing I wish I would have communicated better with you. Is I don't think you can't do it. It's just more like you already have so much skill sets, and then you have the ambition, you have the energy to go do it. I just feel like you could get there so much faster with us, but. Obviously, bro, like you got to want it for yourself too. It's obviously I have a lot of conviction in what we do because I'm part of the C-suite. Like I don't always get on these calls. As the manager, I don't. So obviously, I have a bit of ego and I get off these calls and I don't enroll you into the program. But it's because I care about it. Like I genuinely do see so many good results. Like just today, bro, I'll show you too. First of all, I'll show you this. Like there is a lot more that comes with it. So there is a lot more information. Like I don't want to sell that short, but it's just more about like the amount of access you get with all the calls and support. But even like just like a few days ago, like this guy, I think he was already in he's already at 7K collection in the last 2 days. So it's like, and this guy reminds me a lot of you. Like there's a lot of guys that are similar to you, that they're not like these kids that need support or need their handheld. It's more just like, dude, if you're already a killer, imagine being in something where you have a specific roadmap on getting there. You know what I mean? Where like Yo, real quick, I'm on a call with Daniel. He's a guy that we've honestly had to reschedule 2 times. I know it's December 1st, but is there any way I could hold the Black Friday deal for him and get him at 2.9? Let me know ASAP because I'm gonna call with him. One thing I want to make clear too is like, yeah, like we're helping you a lot of stuff, but it's not like you get to sit outside and watch us build your business. You're doing it on your own regardless. It's just like, do you think you really get there faster?
You don't go into the gym and say, hey, somebody else work out for me.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, dude, like, I know we can help you. Just got to let me help you. I'll tell you what. If I eat the 15% and we could finance the $2,900, I'll just eat that I'll just eat that for you. I'll give you like, if you could give me a decision by the end of the day, I'll eat that for you. That's my last like Hail Mary to help Daniel scale his business. Is like, I'll try to eat the $2,900, and we'll just lose 15% of the deal.
It's a good thing, but I just really want to make a sound decision, whether that's going to be, going with the accelerated course, sticking to the starter course for now, and just doing it, on my own, and maybe joining later, or maybe not, just completely going on my own, or going for another course. I mean, These are the 3 options. I'll just.
Which, bear in mind, I do think I could help you make those 3 options 2 options. Because, like, bear in mind, either way, I don't want you to look at it as, like, I don't think you can do it with yourself. Either way, you are going to be doing it yourself. It's just, like, can you go, like, do you think you can go faster with all the things that we described tonight with that help? Or do you think, and obviously, of course, I'm going to think so, yeah, bro. Like, I think anybody would. Like, of course, you're going to go faster with, like, all the support that comes with it and being in a room with guys that are doing 6 figures a month. But that's your decision to make. But one thing I would say is I wouldn't make it feel like it's this or the other. Like, either way, you're going to be doing shit. It's not like getting accelerated means like you don't have to do anything. It's just like with this option, it's kind of like you get that coach that you had when you're going to the NFL right away versus having to go through all the years of treachery. That's the only difference. And with business, that's the beauty is like, obviously as an athlete, it's different. Like there is a lot of talent that goes into it, plus hard work, plus God-given abilities. With business, it's like you kind of get to pay for certain things. It's leverage. You have leverage now. The truth is you have more leverage than most guys we talk to because you have a decent salary. Like most people don't have any leverage. They're broke as fuck. So like they're trying to get anything they possibly can to get into a program to help them make more money because they're suffocating financially. So like bear that in mind too. Like don't look at it as like you're weak for. You're not weak for like getting help, bro. You're just like you have leverage to go faster. That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely take that into consideration. Like, I do understand it's not, an ego thing. Trust me.
Yeah, because I get it, dude. Because I'm super egotistical, dude. I'm a grown ass man too. Like, I hate asking for help. But like one thing I will say is like that's one thing Sergio changed my mind on. I remember when I first bought Sergio's initial program, dude. It was like way back in the day, like 2 years ago, and like I remember thinking like, oh, I can do this on my own. I can do this. I wasted 6 months trying to do it on my own, and I actually succeeded. I actually went and got the clients. My first time around, I didn't pay for a program. I was just like you. I was like, I can do this shit on my own. I got the clients, but guess what happened? I lost all of them. Because then I was like, fuck, I know how to sell, but like I don't know how to fulfill. But take it as like, dude, I do genuinely think we can help. Like I really do. So like if you do want to make a decision tonight, I'll eat the 15% and I'll let you split it at $2,900. I want to help you out. So let me know either way. I got a call in like 30 minutes, so like I'll be up probably. I mean, I'll be up late. I don't know what time zone you're in. Fuck. Well, boys, if that ain't a fucking. You don't win them all, but we'll see. This guy might come back. I pulled out all my fucking tricks. Yo, just got my boy Harmon. Remember the name. He's about to be the next biggest thing in high ticket sales. Harmon Dillon. Remember the fucking name. That guy that I failed to close earlier just hit Harmon back and said, yo, can you please connect me with the guy I spoke to? I want to bite on the offer. So he's about to bite on the midnight offer. This is also a little bit of sauce for you guys if you're watching this and you're in high ticket sales. If you like loop, like you saw me just do for like 45 minutes and try as much as you can to close a deal and it just does not close, the last thing I'll do is I'll literally tell the prospect this. I'll be like, look, bro, like last thing, Hail Mary, take this how you want it. I'll give you this offer and it'll be until the end of the day, until midnight. I'll be up. And I wouldn't say it happens all the time, but like, for example, tonight, this guy might bite on it. I'm going to give him a call and see if we can collect some payment before the end of the night.
Good.
Yo, Daniel, what's up, dude?
Yeah, just wanted to call you back on that one offer you had towards the end.
Yeah.
Would have to see if that can be confirmed by tomorrow, and I'll just give you that confirmation on that offer today.
So did they did you guys call and ask to increase the limit, or like kind of walk me through what happened? All right, man. You guys have a great night, and let's go scale this thing to the moon.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, Daniel. Talk soon, brother.
Talk soon.
Come on! What sales manager do you know closing and ripping deals at midnight? Tell me.